All right, yeah, man. So again, man, I apologize for the last time because the video that I had, it was just my voice was absolutely terrible. Like it was just I, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't put that out there, man. I can't put our stuff out there like that. I was like, nah, you gotta do this again. How you feel? How you feeling, brother? How you feeling, man? How's everything going, man? How's the day treating you?
It was an easy day, so you know what I'm saying. Not too many clients, so it was a good day.
Nah, I love to hear that, man. So we went over I know we got our verses coming up, man, and I definitely wanted to like really dive into that because I know a lot of things that we've spoke about before about, making this a thing where we can not only set I guess in a way like set the tone for the rest of the therapists and everybody else to kind of get involved with it and just, bring like that community together. And I think like again, man, I can't even tell you how much in advance, like that's genius. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing something that a lot of people um just don't even have the direction to think about yet. You know what I'm saying? And I think like, everybody is, for the lack of term, want to just have it all for themselves. And I'm like, nah, like let's do this together. You know what I'm saying? We can the momentum can catch up faster. And so I was locked in immediately when you was like, hey man, hey bro, let's do this. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, let's do this. For sure, let's do this. Like I was super excited about it. So um I won't go into detail, man. I just wanted to, again, like give me a little bit more of a rundown, like what the thought process was and everything, and then we can chop it up a little bit about like how we can move forward.
Okay, so I think originally when I looked at the verses that was going on between Tink and Tyrese a couple months ago, and I started to think, for the massage therapists, we have massage championships across the country, across the world, but
Right.
I think it's watered down in the sense of you have so many therapists at the same time doing so many different things. And I just love massage therapy that much. I feel like there's a way that you can bring the focus in. And so you can tighten that shot group. And for me, that's what versus meant. It meant the ability to have a chance to show your art and your platform on that level. And I think we talked about but of course we talked about it before. You having your Melanin Wellness Society platform and me using Relax Fit Productions to kind of bring this into fruition. It allowed me to see it's never been done. But I think the thing is because it's never been done, it's a little scary, because
Yeah.
I've met some comments and things of that nature that kind of think that it may bring the wrong image to what we do. And for
Really?
me, yeah, one of the comments I came across was it was a good idea, but the worry was that it would minimize our ability to operate in a medical profession. And so my comment was that I would be willing to have that conversation, but I feel as if sometimes massage therapy is placed in a box. And that box kind of limits a massage therapist and what they can do. But when you look at the arena that the massage therapist operates in, you know, 2 months ago I was working on WWE wrestlers. Yesterday I was working on veterans. A couple weeks ago I was working on teachers. And I think with that type of thought process, you can understand it's not just medical, man. You don't just fit into that medical box, whether working for a chiropractor or working in a clinic or things of that nature. Our therapists can fit in any arena, and what better way to show that than to show that a massage therapist is only limited by their imagination. That's it.
No, I absolutely agree with that, man. And that's kind of like how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my rebrand idea came from. I started as Mr. Fix It, and then I was like, that's not just all of me, right? Like I have way more skill sets than that. Like I used to be a chef. I used to, I do personal training. Like, I have a bachelor's in exercise science. And then, I'm actually now made the decision to like go and get psychology and everything. So it's like, I just feel like the mind body has to be a connection. And I feel like where a lot of massage therapists, and maybe it could be just like how it was viewed, like coming up, right? Like how a lot of most massage therapists at the beginning were mostly females. They were coming in and then like it set the tempo of, being women just doing like sex work and all this other stuff that was added to it. And then it started to get like that masseuse like use of word where and for me personally, it doesn't offend me. You know what I'm saying? When somebody calls me a masseuse, I'm like, no, it's massage therapist. A lot of people get really upset about it. I'm like, it's all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know what I do, then you kind of have an idea about that. So
But I think that's and I think that's where we're at, right? And I think words have an important meaning. And me and one of my therapists, we once did a TV show, and
mhm,
one of the actresses on the TV show, her response was, that the massage therapists were masseuses, and he politely corrected her and said that masseuse was a French term for sex worker, and they actually wrote it into the script. But I'm like you, I'm not dictated by my label because what
yeah,
I do is much more than the terminology that besets me. So,
that's it.
you educate and you edify, but you also understand, hey, once you experience it, masseuse is not what you're thinking. You're thinking, you just received a whole body change, a body transformation based upon what you got on the table. So it's
That's
like
where it starts.
it, it's unfortunate that we're here and that, and I think it's even more unfortunate having to defend myself as a massage therapist. But you know what? I welcome it because it gives me a chance
Yeah,
each day to prove, I'm that person.
absolutely.
Whatever your thoughts were, whatever you thought this was, you leave my massage table feeling the way you need to feel and feeling
Absolutely.
different, feeling better.
Listen, I'm proud to be a massage therapist, man. Like, I feel like not just only was it an opportunity for me to step into a different world and, a different career and to be able to make, good money with that, but it also brought healing for myself too in a lot of ways. Like, number one, knowledge of the body is huge for me. Like, again, like I came from culinary. Like I knew nothing about my body. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know the cardiovascular system. I didn't know any of that stuff. So when I went into the program, it was like I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna be on a cruise ship. I'm gonna, travel the world, do all this fun stuff. And I'm like, and my instructor was like, absolutely not. He was like, you are going to be a medical therapist. And I'm like, damn, bro, like you just gonna put that on me already from the beginning? He's like, no, like you have a very specific skill set that you teach when you do things. And why stop you at just using the word massage therapist? You're a healthcare practitioner. Like just like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, everybody has roles that they play, which gives us the massage therapists, the nurses, the doctors, and all those different things. But we're all together as healthcare practitioners. And I think like I feel like the community now understands it now, especially like now during these times and days where everybody is like really highly stressed and everybody's trying to like find their body identity, the recomposition of their bodies, trying to understand that like, okay, I watch my old heads die on me because of, cancer, high blood pressure, all these things. And they started to now incorporate people like us into their healthcare plan now, where they're like, I got to see my massage therapist at least once a month or every 2 weeks and stuff like that. And they're calling us and they're like, hey, can you come here because I don't really have the time or I'm working on this side of town. I may not be able to race to that side of town. And that's what started the huge boom of like mobile therapists. And honestly, bro, like that has been like the greatest gift is just being a mobile therapist. Like, bro, like all we do is just throw our shit in the car and like we're point A and point B and we're making money. By the time we go home, we're like $600-700, almost to $1,000 going home because we were able to just pick up our stuff and move it to their location, to their home, bring them that kind of levity and that peace, and also gives that opening for people to feel like, okay, I don't have to go to my practitioner's area and feel like I'm uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? Or feel the intimidation of having like going there and driving and dealing with traffic and then having to deal with, you know, getting into a building and then waiting and all this stuff. No, it's just I can't even tell you how many times I open the door. People are like in robes with wine in their hands. People are just like, hey man, I was waiting on you the whole time. And I'm like, hey man, good to see you. Let's go. Let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? So I love it, man. It's beautiful.
And that's how we're changing the narrative. That's how we're changing the culture now. The
Hmm.
ability to go to the client, the ability to bring
Absolutely.
that service to the client. Where in times past you may have went to a spa and the massage was so great, you sat in your car and you tried to figure out how am I going to make it home, you know. But now people like you and I, we take the guesswork out of it. We come to you, we bring everything we need, whether it's the hot stones, whether it's the cupping, any other modalities. And all you need to do is give us an area to set up. We bring the music, you create an atmosphere. And it goes back to me saying to people whenever I start, I have two rules: communication and comfortability. As long as we have those two rules, we
Okay.
can do everything that we need to do on the table.
I like
And
that.
it gives them that sense of they're a part of the treatment. It's not that they're just getting on the table. They're communicating to me why they're getting on the table, what kind of day they had, what kind of muscle aches they may have. And thereby it allows us to, on the spot, develop a treatment plan for them then and there. And it's different for them because they may be used to going to a doctor and the doctor might say, hey, let me take a look at the lab results, or let me take a look at this and I'll get back to you. For health workers like us, we're immediate gratification. You tell me I'm having back pain. I'm not going to tell you, well, give me about a week and I'll come back with a plan. No, we're saying, okay, while we're fixing the table and you're talking to us, we're thinking in ourselves, okay, what position
Absolutely.
to put this client in to make sure when
Absolutely.
I leave, they have no more back pain. And
Absolutely.
that right there is worth it because you're not going through your insurance company and figuring out what they'll pay for. You're not trying to figure out how many visits you're being authorized to come see us. You
Yeah.
basically control and dictate that. So in that case, it's no longer a luxury. I am now a part of your medical treatment care plan. I'm a part of your
Absolutely.
medical team now. You know, we
Absolutely.
locked in because you understand I don't work 9 to 5.
Right.
Sometimes I might be at a house. I might not show up. Their appointment might not be till 10 o'clock at night because that's the only time they have available.
Yeah.
So
No, that's man, that's true. My cutoff time is like 9 o'clock. I'm like, man, because people were blowing my phone up. They was like, I had this one lady, she was like, Berkeley, can you come to my house? My back is killing me. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm like, lady, it's 11 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm not going nowhere. Like, I'll see you tomorrow though. Oh, I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. Sorry, sis. I'll see you when I see you then. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's just my personal boundary. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, I gotta recharge and because a lot of people don't realize that we're taking in so much energy from people as well too, like their grief, their sorrow, their anger, depression, all that stuff comes back with us. And then on top of that, we're like therapists, right? Like we pretty much, I mean, we are therapists, but we pretty much hear like the entire life story with people on an hour on the table. They're like, my husband did this and all that, and I'm just like, yo, don't care.
that,
Like,
that's the other important aspect. You know, years ago when Tiger Woods first got into the sport of golfing,
mhm,
no one advocated for lifting weights. And so the same thing for us, right? Massage therapists are expected to perform, but the element of working out, which you know well, is beneficial to us, especially as movement massage therapists. We're carrying tables and other supplies in, but working out not only represents our physical body, but it represents our mental and our spiritual body as well, because that
absolutely.
might be our time to decompress. That might be our time to say to ourselves, "Whoo, that was a lot." You know, yes, there was a lot, but now I get a chance to, leave it in the gym not only physically but mentally, so that when I go to that next client's house, whatever I was holding or whatever I thought I was going to hold, I've been able to let that go. And for me, when you talk about boundaries, one of the boundaries that I do, I kid you not, when I go in people's houses before I go into their doors, I always say a quick prayer to God, and I just ask them, "Hey, transference of spirits and emotions is real." So I always say, if there's anything in here that doesn't belong on me, in me,
Let
don't
it stay.
allow me to take it with me.
Hmm.
Leave it here.
Yep.
So I don't
Yep.
care if I
Just
have
let
it
it
on the
stay.
table and I've taken everything from you. I've stripped you of all of whatever you had going on. I don't want it.
Yeah.
It's got to stay here. I don't know where it's going to go, but it cannot. That's my boundary. It can't come with me, because seeing 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10 people in a day and having those 7, 8, 9, 10 personalities, if you don't have that wall that you can throw up, you will find yourself taking on so many different spirits and personalities of people that's just trying to get rid of it, and you don't have your guard up. You're taking it upon yourself, and you're not recognizing that you're taking it upon yourself until someone points it out to you and say, "Hey, do you have fatigue, massage fatigue, or do you have
Hmm.
mental fatigue?" Or because
Hmm.
we don't see it, because in my mind, no, I'm not thinking about that. I'm healing people. I'm healing this person. I'm healing that person. All
Right.
the while, we're the ones not taking the time out to make sure that we're healed, so we
Absolutely.
can manifest and proceed in society the way that we need to. So healers need to be healed too. They do.
Absolutely.
They do.
I'm super strong on that. Like I truly believe that like one of the greatest things, one of the greatest things that like has been great for me is that the fact that like during this entire process, like I've gotten so self-aware of myself and just understanding that like when I leave, if I have a full day, let's just say I got like 6 clients lined up, I had a full day. By the time I get home, I can then now start seeing emotionally how that's transitioned from the table to now my own personal psyche. But see, the thing is, a lot of them, and this is something out there for I guess like the new therapists that are now going into the field, and hopefully this will help them going forward. That man, like you have to learn how to do something. You got to find a way to ground yourself. Like for you, like you said, prayer is the best thing for you. It's immediately before you go in there to say, hey man, leave whatever negative energy is here. I don't want to take that home with me. I think for me it's always so when I used to work in like the spas and stuff, I always used to have like a headphone in, like a little AirPod in. I used to play jazz music. And what it does, it completely disconnects me from an emotional wave standpoint. I don't know if it may not make sense for a lot of people, but for me it makes sense because like I feel things in waves and emotions. And I feel like if somebody, let's just say, came in with hostility, they were like upset about something, maybe they were late, got stuck in traffic, and then when they leave that room, they feel so much lighter and so much better. But where you think that energy is at?
Hmm.
That energy is now floating in the room. And it's like COVID. Like if you inhale it, it's like it sits in your system, and then it's, you you coughing and now you sick. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was like I started realizing that. So I started like in a way disconnecting and just finding a way to like spiritually disconnect, like how you believe, how I believe it. Because like I do prayers as well too. Plus, I also one of those therapists that's like, if I go into somebody's homes, I immediately taking my shoes off and I'm grounding myself into the ground, like whether I have my socks on and all that, and just feel the ground and everything, just to have that mind body connection. So I'm glad you said that, man, 'cause that's huge, man. A lot of people, they don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like people think that we're crazy for saying that. And I'm like, no, like that's real energy transference. I mean, like it's why do we talk about it? Because it's real,
And
so go ahead.
I think it's in every occupation, but I think what happens
Yes.
is we don't necessarily choose to give it a term, and
Mm,
because we don't give it a term, sometimes it becomes unrecognizable because it lacks a term. But we need to figure out a way to get past that. Just because I can't give it a definite term doesn't mean it's not there. And And one of those things that you gotta understand is, hey, I'm me. I'm in charge of my body. I know me. If there's something wrong, I should be the first one to recognize it. No one should have
Absolutely.
to come to me and tell me, hey, Paul, hey, something's just not right. Are you off? Do we need to talk about something? Things of that nature. And that's in a whole culture of being aware. And so for you with your platform, Melanin Wellness Society, you're giving people a chance to be aware. You're connecting people with other professionals, because here's the thing. Sometimes we are aware, but we don't know how to get the help that we need. And so
Mm,
having platforms like yours where you connect, you know, professionals that know us,
yes.
it helps us because I might not know them, but I know you. And if I trust you, I know you're not going to send me no whammies. You're not going to just send me out there
Absolutely.
like, hey, G, you know, talk this person. You're sending me out there. You connected me with them through your society because you have experiences and your dealings with them. Maybe not on a personal level, but you know of their work. You know of their work ethic. You know their culture, what they stand for, and thereby that makes you an advocate for them. And then we create this whole network that flows where you now have built a trusting network that you can go
That's it.
to and say, hey, I'm not as scared to be vulnerable. I need help. Who can I run to get that help?
That's it.
Because that for us is hard. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the line of work, we spend so much time healing that when we need help, no one seems to acknowledge that. It's all like,
Right.
oh man, you're the massage therapist. You must get massages all the time. Well, actually, I probably need
No.
more than what I get, because I spend so much time taking care of people, I don't
Right.
necessarily get on the table like I'm supposed to. But a massage therapist understands that and they know that. But the
Mhm.
person looking on the inside, looking inside, they think to themselves, well, if you do this, then you gotta have someone that does this for you. And the reality is I would love it. I would love it. But because we're so good at what we do, we don't get that same luxury sometimes to be healed and to be taken care of. And that's one of the things I think we overall need to work on. And you talked about speaking to those new massage therapists. One of those nuggets that I would give them is make sure you're being taken care of. If you went to
Yes.
massage school with somebody and y'all traded and y'all realize that, what I'm saying, the trade works, don't let that go when you leave the school. Because guess what? You're going to be out there looking for a massage therapist. And what better way to go than to deal with someone who you already dealt with, who's already dealt with you, and you don't have to go out there and try this massage therapist and try this massage therapist, figuring out. Because I tell you, and I tell everybody, I might not be the massage therapist for you. I'm a massage
Right.
therapist for somebody.
Absolutely.
And I have absolutely no ego in saying that. If I'm not the one for you, feel free to fire me. Let me know because here's the thing. I have a wait list. And that's not brag. Yeah, that's not to be like I'm this, I'm that. But if you don't want to be there,
Let's not waste each other's
somebody
time.
else does.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Somebody else is waiting and say, hey, Paul, if you got any cancellations, let me know. And I'm loyal. I'm like, hey, I'm booked.
Yeah.
Yes, someone is just like, hey, I can't do it tonight, then I might reach out and say, hey, I have this slot if you're available for it. And 9
Right.
times out of 10, they jump on it.
Oh yeah.
They ready, they run.
Absolutely.
So just being
Absolutely,
aware.
man. It's the beauty of the field, man, and it teaches you entrepreneurship in a very spiritual way
Hmm.
because like you understand it from not just about making money, but how you made people feel and how people talk about you, and then now how people see you, their face light up when they see you come in the door. And it's like, oh, I'm about to get my healing on. I'm about to relax. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to get like, oh, I'm about to get ready for this anniversary, this wedding. People have so many different occasions that I have worked. I just did a birthday party yesterday, and it was all the way out here in Kissimmee. And we just had these people come from New York, and homie retired. Like he was like, bro, like I retired last week. I knew my birthday was coming. I needed y'all. He was like, do y'all come like every 2 weeks? I said, brother, I come whenever you need me to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm here to help you and be of service of you and everything.
Hmm.
And to piggyback off of what you had said before too, that's also healing for us too, as well too, right? Is to actually see our work like progress you in a way, and it gives me that dopamine hit. It gives me that excitement, that energy that I need to keep doing what I'm doing because it makes sense now. I can physically see it. I can spiritually feel it and see the results. Like, look at you. You're not like hunched over like this anymore. You're like, oh, I'm proud chest now. You know, like you're walking more freely. You're hanging out with your kids more, running. All of it matters, and I I just love every single moment of that. And I just was like, but then I also had the question was like, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? And that's where like I was like, this is where the platform was built off of because I was like, what I wanted to do something else.
And I think, and that's a good thing because I think what we usually don't learn, I know what we didn't learn in massage was what you said, entrepreneurship, being
Yes.
able to be your own brand and build your own brand. And I'll be honest with you, I'll share this with you. My business plan is an upside down pyramid. I tell people all the time, and they probably look at me crazy, but I say, hey, I don't want you as a client.
Mhm.
Me, you don't want me as a client. I said, well, let's do the math. If I have you as a client and you're my consistent client once a month, 12 times a year, that's not going to pay my bills. No disrespect
That's
to
fair.
you, but it's not. I
No,
said,
that's
here's
fair.
the thing. I said, by the upside down pyramid, hey, you're on the bottom of the pyramid. You have two people that trust you and that will execute an action based upon talking to you. So now you say, hey, I know this great guy, Paul. He does great massages. You should book with him. Now you got those two. Now those two go to two. Now you got four. And now you got eight. Now you got 16. Now you got 32. Now you got 64. So that the
Absolutely.
business model starts to take care of itself. You no longer
Yes.
have to advertise your skill set. You no longer have to advertise what you do on a grand scale because that pyramid started from that bottom. And because the word of mouth is so great among our community, that upside down
Hmm.
pyramid just continues to expand and double just by you just doing what you love to do so that you don't have to put that much energy into building the business. You have to put energy into managing the
Yes.
business. And if you have to ask somebody, anybody, what would you rather do? Build it or manage it? Oh, I
Absolutely.
100%. I manage it because if I'm managing it, I'm managing the influx of referrals that's coming in. I'm balancing the schedules of people that's saying, hey, I heard so much about you. I just got to get on your table. And I'm not building it anymore, and I think for entrepreneurship, because one of the things I learned, I never worked in a spa when I graduated. It was one of those things.
Hmm.
I tried chiropractic. It didn't work too
Yeah.
well for me. So I basically said, I'm a sink or swim. I'm going to go out on my own. And once I made that choice, it was hard at times. But then
Yeah.
those steady clients just kept coming back, coming back. And then they started recommending people. And then they kept coming back and kept coming back. And now,
And you built it.
almost 10 years later, it's truly interesting to see where I came from, graduating that
Absolutely.
school and waiting for people in the chiropractic office to now having to respectfully tell people, hey, I'm already booked for that day. Is there another
Right.
day that I can do for you?
Hmm.
So how can I be of service to you on another date, on another time? Because the one that you pick, it unfortunately doesn't work for me at this time. That's a good thing to have.
Do you feel like entrepreneurship is taught wrong? Like I, I feel like entrepreneurship is taught about just freedom, but it's not taught about that emotional aspect like you were talking about, like what that actually looks like. It was a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like for you, it was a decision. It was a clear-cut decision. It was either I'm gonna sink or I'm going to swim. I've tried it, I've experienced it. My energy did not align with it. And I think like and for me, right, like this is year 8 for me.
Hmm.
And this is year 2 of me actually pushing my own brand. And the first couple of years, I was just in it. It was like, well, maybe I should learn the trade. Maybe I should do this. And I always kept coming back because like I bounced around so much. And it was like my energy just wouldn't align with a lot of these places because number one, I was getting more superficial clients that didn't really care about massage therapy than I do now. You know what I'm saying? Like my clients are coming to me, if not a little bit more educated than I am and just like how they take it, and especially more educated in how to take care of their body. So that cuts off like, and like you said, having to cut people off that are not your ideal clients. And that's exactly where that entrepreneurship needs to be taught at, is that sometimes that just because the money is good doesn't mean all money is good for you, and you have to make a decision. Like if you do decide to get like those $60 clients, you know what those $60 clients want. They just want to turn and burn gain. They just want a momentary feel good and they want to go on about their business. They want to get their little Snapchat and Instagram on, just say, hey, I'm in the spa. I'm doing real good now. Like yes, that's the $60 clients compared to the 100 and the 120 clients, $20 clients, and they're like, yeah, bro, I spend this because my man, this shit gives me like 5 more years of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel fantastic. Like I mean, like, and I'm pretty sure when you do get your body work done, you have somebody you trust. You have somebody that was able to pour into you like how you need to treat you right. You don't have to have many conversations with them. They just know how to work because they know you. They get to know you, and the human aspect of entrepreneurship needs to be real. And I feel like just like as just as an entrepreneur myself that just wants to do great things in the world, I have to hold that as like my honor. It's like my badge of honor to sit there and say I do this not for money, but I do this for the healing of people, which will bless me in other ways where I could then be able to feed my family and take care of them and do the things that I need to do. So I mean, like, entrepreneurship has been one of the scariest things in the world. But then once you turn that corner, right, and you also got to have like that, like you said, you have to have a dog mentality and belief in yourself. Like, no matter if you're failing or not, you just have to.
But I think you just hit it on there. I think the fallacy of entrepreneurship is it's predicated on being successful.
Yes, yes,
It's predicated on you being successful. So when you go to these pep talks and you meet these motivation speakers, you're going there predicating that I'm going to be successful because I'm going to listen to this person. What happens with entrepreneurship is people rarely talk about the struggle. And I think with entrepreneurship, you got to have a mentor or an ally that's in the field that you're in, you know,
absolutely.
and that's no disrespect to someone that's doing something else. But if I want to be an entrepreneur in massage therapy, in personal training, in consult, in advising, I can't go to, let's see, a lawn care person and be like, hey, how did you make your business so successful? That's
Right.
their field of entrepreneurship. I need to
Yes,
seek out people like you. I need to seek out
yes,
people that's been in the massage. You know what I'm saying? Miss Willis, she's a very great advocate, you know what I'm saying, for massage therapy and things that I need to seek out people like them because they understand entrepreneurship in the massage therapy field means that you have to put yourself out there. It means, you have to do things to get growth. And
yes,
like for us, this versus thing, man, it's the first time. It's, you know, we don't know the outcome, but we know it's about growth. And
yes,
sometimes in entrepreneurship, you don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't
yes,
like that feeling of being uncomfortable. But that
yes,
feeling of being uncomfortable, that feeling of being hungry, guess what? You're hunting. You're trying to be fed, and you understand that it's not given to you, which means when the reward comes, it's even that much more the greater because in
absolutely,
entrepreneurship, no one sees the legwork that you did. I did a
absolutely.
patent for stretch massage about 2 years ago. but it took me almost 5 years to get it done because I had to keep going back and forth with the Patent and Trade Office for the United States. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't right. This wasn't right. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I got something. Ain't
You
nobody
do.
out here using this term. I done looked it up in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. I done
I ain't
searched
never
on
heard of
social
it.
media. It's
Absolutely.
in mind. But as an entrepreneur, I didn't realize how much I would have to go through to lay claim to something legally and morally that I was already saying. I was already telling people, hey, you're about to get this stretch massage. Hey, do you want a stretch massage? Hey, you need a stretch massage. But I didn't have the legal rights to say it. You know, I didn't want someone to swoop in underneath me and then they take it and then they come back to me and say, hey, you can't use that. I done already took it now. So that's the part of entrepreneurship that people don't see. The ideas that you have to make a choice. How firmly committed am I to making this idea become a reality? How far am I
Absolutely.
willing to go? How much time am I willing to invest in myself and in this venture? And for us, you know what I'm saying, we're investing in this versus. One of the ladies on the Facebook chat that I was in, she saw the idea. She's like, it's a dope idea. I'm gonna do this in the Queen City. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it sounds good, but it's some legwork to it. They didn't
Yeah,
just
man.
gonna give it to you. They ain't gonna just
Yeah.
show up because you put that idea out there. They're gonna
Yeah.
show up because you're putting in the work. And sometimes it's not even the work that you put in. Sometimes it's just right place, right time.
Absolutely.
And that's important because you know what I'm saying. I tell everybody one of the things I live by is stay ready. You ain't gotta get ready.
Absolutely.
Stay ready because you never know. You know, this investor might be here saying, "Hey, I heard you got this idea. Pitch it to me." That's why I love watching like the Shark Show. You know what I'm saying, with the billionaires and how you pitch
Okay, Shark Tank.
them,
Yeah.
because it forces you to become uncomfortable to get comfortable because it's
Right.
not enough for you to feel and confident in what you do. You got to be able to articulate it. You got to be
Yeah.
able to break it down to whatever audience is presented before you and say, I don't care if I'm talking to the person that's walking along the street beside me or I'm in the office with professionals wearing suits and ties. I still need
Yeah.
to figure out how to articulate what I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to get across to get their support and whatever I'm trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely want to spin back to the massage verses because I feel like again, like this is an opportunity that I feel like we can not only put our stamp on, but make it uniquely beautiful in its own way. To be able to just showcase, especially us as men, right? Because when people see it, they're like, okay, we're expecting women to do it. They probably will get more views and everything because it's women, they're hot, whatever it is. And it's like, now that we have the men that are coming from a medical aspect of it, that has backgrounds in it, that have this dire passion to just bring people together to have an understanding. The first thing that came to my mind was we already are doing something in the way of that realm, right? When it comes to social media and
Mm-hmm.
just video recording and everything. And then it started to hit me and I started like game planning and I'm like, bro, like, how can I like get this out there? Like, beyond just the people being there. Like, how can I get more eyes on it? And one night I just couldn't sleep. I was doom scrolling. And then one of the things that popped up in my head was like this little Asian woman, and she was literally selling clothes on TikTok from like just like actually have like a whole show. Like I don't know if you because my grandmother used to watch it back in the day, like those little home shopping shows and stuff like that. She'll watch that and she'll be like, "Oh, that's only $20. I'm gonna order that." And they stand there and they got the model come out. They'd be like, "Oh, it's a nice necklace and everything." And I'm like, hmm. What would that look like for us to do that? And so like, me and Claude, I used to use chat. I don't use chat no more because they support the wrong people. I use Claude and I'm like, hey man, like break this down for me. Like let's really talk about this. Cause I mean like for me, like I have to like talk it out to myself sometimes to see if it's even a thing. And like it brought me like some attention to things that was like, well, you guys already have a really good social media standing. And you got way more than I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for me, I'm still really building from the ground up and I'm still like searching my lane where you already have a standalone identity on how you practice. And I love that because it's like, it not only that you have your standalone practice, but then you get like your weird creativity from me in a way because I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, cool, why can't we do this? And so one of the things that popped in my head was like, well, live streaming, like how we're doing now with the show, and just having people, like maybe say you can get on your phone for Instagram, you could just do relax fit massage going live,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could just do the realignment brand live and everything, and just have the another phone that actually connects to the Melanin Wellness Society pod that we got going on, and just do a live show and just start getting people feeding things in. And one of the things that was like, okay, how can we monetize it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a way that we could be able to monetize it? And TikTok was one of those options that was saying, like, if you get a certain amount of likes, if I'm not mistaken. And, obviously, I feel like there's other ways as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people were like, dollar amounts and stuff like that to be able to add to, like, who do you feel was the best practitioner for the event? And just having different categories like, okay, shoulders and neck. How do we do quad work? How do we do stretch work? That's where you step in. The stretch massage, you step right in there and you do a whole live show. We could record it and everything, do some close-ups. I actually have a friend that could come in and do the video and stuff like that, be able to get the close-ups that we need, walk around the tables for us and everything. And I'm like, you know what? That would be so great because now we're literally talking to people all over the world
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey, man, like, oh, how do you do that? My wife wants to know how you did that stuff on the shoulder. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. So this is what you do. You lift the neck to the side,
Mm-hmm.
you get like that nice little stretch, and then you strip along, the erectors, whatever you need to do. And there you go. You know what I'm saying? Ice contact. They'll see us doing like blade work. If we're doing cupping, they'll see us do that. They'll see us do wood. They'll see us do ashiatsu, all those different skill sets that we add to it. And I'm thinking of a way of just like, okay, if we categorize it and just do like, okay, like first part of the show, let's do shoulders. Second part of the show, let's do that. Let's take that break. Let's interact with the crowd. Let's get some music pumping. Let's get some work going, some live stuff going. And I was like, I think that's brilliant. Like, I think that would be like a great way to not only just fuel that long-term passion that we have for this. And I think that's where it stands on. So that's why, when I had sent you that thing, it was just really like just like an epiphany of so many ideas put into like one document. And so I wanted to get on here and like chop it up with you about it and just be live about it and stuff like that. So when I put the episode out and everything, I want people to see like, okay, like this is something that not only that we worked hard for, but we actually teaching people how to communicate with one another on how to build that level of success. So with that, I'll leave you at that to say what you need to for that.
So, when we initially talked, I think the main thing we were doing, we were trying to get bodies in the seats, because we have that dance studio. And
Right.
so what you did was you expanded upon it. And that's a great thing because I feel like just with massage, there's shouldn't be a limitation to who's able to witness what we're doing. And
Right.
to me, categorizing it, I feel like kind of takes a little bit of the luster from it, right? Because there
Okay.
are things that we're going to do on the table that
Mhm.
nobody will see coming. And I think, it's just like when we have our MC that knows about massaging, and that MC is saying, oh, they're working on the levator scapula and things of that nature. I think that's a good intro, but our audience, they may not even know what the levator scapula is or what it does and things of that nature. Um, so in that sense, I think what you keyed upon, and I think what we keyed upon is the art behind massage therapy. The
Absolutely.
the ability to do your job, but to do it in a way that makes it look appealing, makes it look
Yes.
pleasing to the eyes. And I
Yes.
think in that sense, using those social media platforms only allows it to become to a broader base, because we understand that within the social media, there's a different myriad of groups of massage therapy groups all around the world, all around the country, and
Absolutely.
having them the ability for them to log in. But my whole thing is always the same. We got to do it right, because we the trendsetters. We're the ones that's setting the table. Um, One person that I'm a huge fan of is Master P, and he talks about how he did what he did, and no one believed on him. And I'll share a short story with you. When he signed his deal back in the day, he didn't sign it for artists. He basically signed it because they were going to give him like 15 cents for every album sold. So that first year they gave him that platform, he just was putting out like everybody. Just he put out that first year about 25 different albums. Not because it was quote unquote the thing to do, but he knew, what I'm saying, product outweighs talent. You know what I'm saying? We could be the most talented massage therapist, but what product do we have to be able to push? So for us, our product is our hands. Our products are the tools that we bring to the table. So whenever we get a
Absolutely.
chance to put on a show, we're gonna put on a show. You know what I'm saying? We're
Absolutely.
gonna put on a show. And
Damn
having
right.
said that, if we're gonna put on a show, why not do it and garner and gain the most people possible?
Mhm.
And if you feeling us, then show that love, show that monetization love, because it allows us to understand you. And I know it's not cheap, you know what I'm saying, to put this on, but I can already tell you, I'm already thinking about what other cities that we could bring this to, right? I'm already thinking like Orlando to me made the most sense. And it's a hotbed. It's a
Oh man.
cultural melting pot there. And being that it's a cultural melting pot, I'm not allowing us to limit ourselves to just one particular sector. I want everybody. If you have an interest, if you ever
Absolutely.
thought what it would be like, what it would seem like, what it would feel like, what it would look like, this is the challenge, man. Come out,
Absolutely.
come out, log in, you know,
Absolutely.
be in the presence, because 2 years, 3 years from now, when it's traveling across the USA and whatever else like that, we'll understand that it started with us on a chat. You know what I'm saying? Started with us on a podcast, pushing it out there, letting people know, hey, look it up. It's never been done before. You know, Chat GPT, Claude, whomever, ask them, when was
Yeah.
your last massage versus? And it will say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, listen, I I feel like I cheated because I'm like, man, like, well, I don't feel like I cheat, but I'm like, I had to do something to just be able to just put more presence on what we do. And I think that's like you said, because when you hear the word massage therapy, you think of intimate one-on-one settings. And that the immediate thought that hit me was like, what happens if we didn't do that? Like, and then people look at it because it's like, oh, it's a legal issue and stuff like that because people might see me naked and this and that, and I'd be like, no, like, uh, not at all. Like, you will be completely covered. Like, the leg is going to be out. Like, draping is everything, man. Like, I
Is
I don't know about you, but like the
is
first thing I learned in school was draping.
mm-hmm.
Like, they was like, hey man, like, and they saw me, and my instructor was a gay white man. He literally came up to me and he was like, hey man, you're a young black young man. We gonna teach you how to do this the right way, so you won't get caught up. And I'm like, I respect you. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, man, make sure that you tuck one time. You don't do all that extra tucking underneath. One good tuck, one good tuck. Leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? If it gets unraveled, tuck again, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then again, like you said, communication is key. And obviously I feel like our bodies, our demos that are going to be for the show, understands that.
Yes.
And they understand that their legs and their thighs and maybe the half of their glute might be exposed or anything like that. And no more than the clavicle. is going to be exposed and everything. We're not going to expose the chest or anything of that nature. And it brings that sense of people walking by. Because I remember, and side note, just the kind of stay within the conversation. I remember when I was teaching massage therapy, and one of the things that we did was demonstrations before I actually allowed our students to go in and break out into doing stuff. And they would circle around a table, and I was sat there and I'll show the demonstrations. It's like how we learned, going in school.
Mm-hmm.
You watch the demonstrations go, and then you're like, hey, how'd that feel? Fantastic. I feel great. Like, oh, it feels good. Oh, it's a little bit too much and stuff like that. And you get that real live feedback, not only from us and from the outside people, but the person on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's something right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me and you both believe that there's something in that, that it's like a lot of people will express that the massage felt great after they left, but nobody has visual cue of what it looked like.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's the other thing about it, you know what I'm saying? When people brag about us and they talk about us in those rooms, to other people,
Mhm.
they don't get to see it. So even me, I feel as if I'm slighting potential clients because what you see me do on the internet when I post my videos is totally a different feeling when you're the one that's experienced it. If I take my client's leg and I pull it across the table to get to their lower back and to their glutes and stuff like that, and you can see the look on their face of mental relaxation. Well, that's them. You got to experience that so you can understand what that feels like. The release that comes in with, releasing that lower spine is unimaginable. But like I said,
Absolutely.
doing it on the table and having someone view it versus them being on the table and having it done. So in that respect, it gives us a chance to not only do that, but ultimately
Yes.
it gives people the opportunity to decide if they want to give us the opportunity to
Yes.
do it to them, right?
Yes.
Because let's be honest, um, they might be looking for a massage therapist. We
Yes.
are traveling massage therapists. We're not limited to a brick and mortar, right? And no
Absolutely.
knock on anyone that's out there that's doing it, but
Absolutely.
and we love y'all, right? But
Right. Sure do.
we're not, you know, I'll come to you, right?
Yeah.
If life is lifing for you and you just
Flexibility.
can't figure out how to get to me, then let
Yes.
me figure out how to get to you.
You don't ever got to work.
I've been places where no elevator, 3 flights of stairs, and I just put the side table on my, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go. I'm gonna get my workout today, and I just,
Right.
they be like, you walked up 3 flights of steps like that?
Sure did. You ready?
Hey, you ready?
Get right to action.
Yeah, you ready?
Get right to
And I think
it.
that's what we bring to the table. So I think with this versus being able to show, but also showing that, you know, you could be next. Do you want to be next? Are you ready? And then we leave it up to them. They kind of be like, hey, I've been waiting for this. I've been looking for this. I've been looking to see something like this done in person so that it
Right.
can help me to better decide what I need for my body. Right.
Man, man, like that hit the nail on the head, man. And that's exactly the thought process of all of it. Because for me, also look at it as like too, like you ever do trigger point work and watch the muscle twitch while you're working?
Mm-hmm.
And then now we get to tell people and show people what that shit looks like. Like, hey man, this person has a severe scapular trigger point. Let me show you what that looks like when it's released.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you can visibly see the muscle twitching like this. Then you can see the deep breath and the sigh of relief of the body just relaxing. And then people are just like, you guys are magicians. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. You know what I'm saying? That to me is so beautiful because it's like it gives us that legitimacy
Mm-hmm.
that the traditional room will not give. And it gives it to it on a very wide scale because I don't care who's on that table. That person is never going to leave that table upset, ever. They're not going to leave upset. They're going to lead with real transformation work. And then not only that, you get to see the roadmap of how it looks as we're going through it. Like you're sitting there saying, hey, I'm working on the lower back to release like sciatic nerve pain and everything. Let me show you this stretch to be able to do that. As you're doing it, you can literally see, okay, this range of motion in the leg is absolutely shit. You're like, oh, she could barely move her leg.
Hmm.
Let me show you a trick that I do. Next thing you know, take a deep breath, hold, push against me. Let me push back against you. Reciprocal inhibition. Let's push it against you. Let's do it like that.
Hmm.
Now you do it that third time where their body actually goes into a relaxed state, and now their body is ready to receive what we were supposed to be doing. The world just saw it.
Yeah,
The world literally just saw
it
it.
did.
We literally have content of
It
that.
did. Yep.
So man, I'm excited about it, man. Like I feel like, and then obviously throughout the days, I definitely still want to solidify everything, how we're gonna do it and everything. Because I still want to run through a lot of, like you said, man, I'm a perfectionist. I'm trying not to be. I'm just trying to just let things just kind of flow. But I do want some kind of standard that we want to set.
Hmm.
And so for me, it's about like just making sure I go over everything that I have seen and stuff like that too, because different days bring different light.
Yes.
And I think like just to get another fresh eyes on it as well too, just like how you said, maybe the segments may not be it. Maybe the whole experience is the thing.
Hmm.
And so now that we had that conversation, now it's about thinking about the entire experience as a whole as itself. Like, when is our breaks? How are we videotaping this? How are we getting the crowd engaged? How are we getting our viewers engaged? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we keeping the momentum going? How do we know when we're not doing enough or we need to push more?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, it's exciting.
And I think one
It's
of the
really exciting.
things that's big, right? Because with this never being done before, we have to find that sweet spot, right? Where we're engaging in it just enough, but not to the point where it becomes saturated, or not to the point when someone logs in and then it's just like, oh well, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Let me log out because this is going to be this long, and I don't have this long to watch it. And that's the great thing about the live stream. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't watch all of it then, but once
Hmm.
we upload it, you come back and
Oh
watch
man,
it. You
clip it,
and one of the things
all
I
that.
need to make sure that we do is, we need to make sure the product that we put out is being seen. So I know a lot of times we talk about, making sure you put, I do not own the rights to the music and things of that nature. So just making sure that there's no reason that our live feeds go down for any reason. Doing it, because I think that would be a travesty to do all of this and not be able to give a show from start to finish so that they know what we're doing. But I feel like we owe it to them to at least, we've been talking for almost about an hour about it. So we got to at least tell them, I'll let you tell them, at least give them like the date and the time and the location. So at least if we didn't do anything else in this podcast, we let them know the who, what, when, where. So if you please do the honors and just let them know, you know, the who, what, when, where of this massage versus please concert.
Massage versus the first ever in the city of Orlando is going to pop off July 11th. Um, it is going to be at DGEK Studio.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
DGBEK. Yeah.
DGDEK. Okay,
Yes.
cool. And what's crazy about funny fucking story about that too, and it's gonna be hilarious. But I think my baby mama dances at that studio too. So that's why I kind of triggered in my head. I was like, that studio sounds familiar. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I've been in here before, which is great. I mean, that helps out, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's also like that. But yes, man, we're gonna do it from 10 to 3. We're gonna have vendors come out and everything. I want some of the best. I want some of the cutting edge people that really truly believe in what we're doing, because I guarantee you guys, once this vendor spot fills up for this first event that we got going on and we do the next one and it's popping, I'm gonna be like, remember that time you said no and you ain't really mess with us like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and sit this one out, big dog. You can watch us. You know what I'm saying? So super excited. July 11th, guys, at DGBEK Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'll give you the addresses. Everything is going to be on Eventbrite. We will send you the link and everything. And then once we be able to get that live stream and everything rolling, we'll have all those details and everything out for you as well too. And we will be doing a massive, massive, massive push as the days keep going on. I feel like every week we're going to do a little bit of a push. I'm glad we're able to do this podcast again, my brother. I appreciate it. So that way we could be able to just keep the momentum going. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to we're just going to chop it up as much as we can. We're going to keep this momentum coming. We're going to keep talking to people about it. Right. Like we're going to keep hitting the streets hard. Our content is going to be based upon it. I
Mm-hmm.
created, we created the flyers and stuff like that. Like, whose side are you picking?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You picking relax fit massage,
You picking
or
Mr.
are we gonna
You know,
get Mr. Fix It?
you know,
Which one do you want?
you gotta
And
be
it's
there.
both.
You
You
gotta, you
gotta
gotta
be
be
there,
there. You
man.
gotta be
You
there
gotta
to
be there.
make that call. You can't make that call looking at us. You gotta see us in action.
Come on,
Make
man.
the call. You gotta see what we do. As always, it's all love, but ain't nothing wrong with a little competition. So at the end of the day,
Hey,
we
hey,
still
brother, I'm ready.
we still gonna be locked in.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna be a mister if I'm not trying to tell you that I am trying to win. So
for sure, man. Listen,
that's what we do. That's what we're gonna be here for. But we're gonna have a good time in that though. We're gonna have a good time
man.
showcasing and showing our ability to do what we do on the larger scale. So
Absolutely, man. This is going to be so much fun. And I want everybody to know we're going to be going live on TikTok. We're going to be going live on Instagram. And we also are going to be going live on the Melanin Wellness Society as well, too, where we're going to be broadcasting everything. For those that are interested in our page, our Facebook and Instagram pages and everything, I don't really use Facebook too much. I'm more of an Instagram guy more than anything because I can kind of funnel things a little bit better. But if you want to go ahead, drop your information and everything so that way we could just be able to find you. How are we gonna find you?
find me on Relax Fit Massage, and that's on TikTok and that's on Instagram. And then Relaxed Fit. Remember, it's the ED at the end. People always miss that. So it's RELAXED Fit, and that's on Facebook as well. So I'm on those three social media sites. I'm posting daily different things and aspects so you kind of see what's going on, get a feel of what's going on, trying to figure out the algorithm and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Just, I'm there. So just come find me. I'm there.
Hey man, if y'all ever want like some good ass inspirational workout videos as well too, this man be pushing some fucking weight. I be going in the gym and I just be like scrolling through my thing and I'm like, man, this man finna out bench me real quick. He just in there just it's so easy. And I'm like, hey man, I love it, man. Support all the time, brother. You got 100% of my support. Um, Man, I appreciate that, man. So again, brother, we're gonna talk about this again. I don't want to hold you up and everything, but man, I was so glad to be able to do this with you again, and I appreciate the mistake that I had before too. But we're gonna cut those to a minimum
Good.
and blow it all up, brother.
Yeah,
So
no doubt, man. All right. Until the next time, bro.
yes, sir, brother. Have a great rest of your night. All right,
All right.
take care.
Mm-hmm.